Hello, my name is Chaeyoung Lim, and today I'm going to present my works on the first level physics 2212, amount of excess charge on an ordinary object. For this experiment, tape was used as the ordinary object, and the purpose of the experiment was to determine the amount of excess charge on a piece of Scotch tape. For me, as a result, I got positively charged tapes repelling to each other. For the specific numbers and the calculations, they will be introduced at the back. As an assumption, or for the initial condition, I assumed that each of the long tape was considered as a point charge with all charge concentrated at the center. And also I regarded that the charge for two tapes are considered to be equal in magnitude. For the system, I defined two U-tapes as the system, and for the surroundings, I defined surroundings to be everything else than the tapes in the room, and especially the Earth, considering that the gravity takes some role in the equation. For other physical factors, like air resistance, I considered them all to be negligible. For the model, I followed the exact same model that was introduced in the syllabus. For me, the main goal was to set up the tape located between two books, then try using another tape to observe and record the distance before repelment. To start with the experiment, I prepared two pieces of tape with equal length and neutral charge, placing them on top of the other. For the calculations, I mostly relied on Coulomb's law on charges and Newton's second law, which is known to be F equals ma, for the calculations. And for Q, the value of Q, I used 1.6 times 10 to the negative 19th Coulomb. And I also relied on the basic principle that like charges repel and opposite charges attract each other. For the 7.1 part of the experiment, I expected tapes to repel from each other, and considering the negative charge of pen, I expected the tape will be attracted, repelled, given their electrical charge. And considering the negative charge of the pen, neutral tape will be also attracted by the pen. Down below are my observation, and I could figure out that the tapes were positively charged. This is the calculation that I used to figure out the ratio of the electrons and the total atoms. I assumed that the force of the electric force and the gravitational force to be add up to be 0. So I first calculated the number of atoms on U-tape by using the area of the tape and the area of the atom. Then moved on to calculate the number of electrons on U-tape by dividing the charge that I've calculated by the charge of the electron. Then I used that number to figure out the ratio of deficient electrons to total atoms on the U-tape. Here's the code that I used for the experiment. I have all the constants and values listed above, and I basically used that Fg equals Fe, positioned all the vectors, arrows, and the masses. Then I used the equation regarding Coulomb's law to calculate the values that I were supposed to acquire. So this sums up my experiment, and for the errors, I thought that like the inaccurate measurement within the length and the width, the fact that I estimated the weight of the tape, and the charges being naturally lost and even uneven charges that should be counted, and the difference in calculation results due to rounding up and significant figures and forces that were regarded negligible all counted to some of the errors that occurred during my experiment. Answers to the what if I questions. I stated that the charges would still stay the same even though the things are swapped, and also I noted the importance of keeping the charge with the table. Thank you.